Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk HR, which is part of the Let's Talk Business South Carolina network of B2B talk shows. As always, I am your host, Rick Jenkins. In this episode, we're putting a fun, fast-paced twist on workplace insight with a segment we call Finish the Sentence. Joining me now is Herb Dew, owner and CEO of HTI. They're one of the premier workforce solutions companies in the Southeast. Herb has spent years helping companies build stronger teams, implement smarter hiring strategies, and develop workplace cultures that actually work. I'm going to throw out the start of a sentence, and Herb has to finish it. No scripts, no overthinking, just real, honest, off-the-cuff insight from someone who lives and breathes workforce strategy every day. Herb, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Good to be here, man.
I should say welcome back to the show. Because you join me once a month to have a lot of really fun conversations. And today we're going to do something that I think is going to be a lot of fun. I want to jump right into it. It's called Finish the Sentence. And there's, we were talking before we came on there, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens in HR.
There is.
There
is.
There's good stuff and good stories and all that kind of thing. So we just want to have a little bit of fun with this. And it's called Finish the Sentence. And I'm going to give you a sentence and I'm going to tee you up, and we're going to see where we go with it.
All right.
But I'm going to give you a warm-up question first.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can come up with this off the cuff, but here's your warm-up question. If HDI had a company mascot, it would be...
Oh.
Really putting him on the spot.
Herbie the Love Bug.
Herb.
Herbie the Love Bug.
Herbie.
Which probably a lot of the audience is not familiar with.
Come on.
Herbie the Love Bug.
Right.
Yeah. So
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming to a social media clip soon.
My marketing team, by the way, won't agree that this is an acceptable mascot.
They won't. Yeah. Herbie the Love Bug. Okay, Herb, let's get into it. All right, here we go. I've got 10 questions for you. Now, I'm going to start out with, great candidates will walk away before you hire them. Why?
Bad process. Takes too long. Not feedback. A great candidate's going to be hired quickly, so they're going to walk away from something that feels too complicated to apply for.
Employees stay longer when what?
A lot of reasons. I would say a relationship with their direct supervisor is maybe the most important thing, like feeling connected to who they report to.
Right. It's always about relationships, right?
Yep.
Right. Almost every industry, it's about relationships.
Yep.
Moving on, the fastest way to lose a good employee.
Wow. There's a lot of fast ways. I would say, generally speaking, what I advise, I would say communication. I'm not going to give you a long answer on that. I would say poor communication within the company.
Give me an example.
So, not having a regular, not feeling like you're connected to what's happening in your department or with your boss or with the company mission or whatever it happens to be. And what happens is companies lose their best people first, not their people that they see as being okay, right? So the person who is your best young people working in your company, they're looking for engagement and involvement, and that's all. It starts with communication, right? If you take a look at the pyramid of how do you keep employees, it starts with communication at the very bottom. So that's where you start fixing it there.
Companies hire the wrong people when what?
I think when they have people that are not trained effectively to interview and select people.
Yeah.
Right. I think what happens a lot of times is companies get rushed. They have a new manager who's never really been trained on how to interview. And that person, he or she makes, poor hiring decisions just because they don't have the experience yet.
Right. And is that getting worse now because of AI creeping into the hiring process?
Yeah, I would say it is.
Yeah, because AI is probably sifting through and saying, let's not interview those people when maybe you should.
Well, what's happening now is people are saying, hey, here's this job posting. Now, AI, write me a resume that matches that.
Yeah, right. Right. So it's going to look good.
It's going to look like the person's right on target. Exactly. And if you don't have an experienced person that recognizes that, then the mistake is you're going to hire somebody because you read their resume and thought they had all this experience, but
Right.
And I've actually heard of a number of situations here recently where somebody was hired off of a resume that they did not have the experience that they said in their resume.
And the hiring manager just didn't pick
Big companies locally.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep.
Managers struggle the most with what?
Giving direct feedback.
Yeah.
Giving direct
Not always
feedback.
easy.
It's not easy. And it's really, really important. You know, it's funny. I mean, an employee respects you more when you give them kindly direct feedback positively and also where they need development.
If companies fixed one thing in their HR departments, what should it be?
I would say the simplest answer, because the sentence finishing is that they treat HR as a strategic group.
You mean the CEOs sometimes don't think that the HR executive is important as the COO, the CFO,
Yeah, or the VP of sales or the VP of logistics or whatever it happens. And so, you know, and so what ends up happening is we always look at HR issues as a problem to be fixed rather than a resource to be. So the companies that bring HR alongside strategically as an equal partner in that are more successful because that HR person is able to be a peer to all of those people and helping them do better with their use of people.
A few more, Herb. A strong company culture starts with, and let's exclude communication, which you've already talked about.
Right.
Other than that,
I would say engaged leaders. I think the biggest complaint I hear from employees will be they don't see their plant manager or their boss, you know, they don't see them that often, or you know that there's a detachment from the senior leadership group down to what the employees actually are feeling. So I would say disconnect with senior leadership.
the biggest mistake leaders make with company culture is what?
You know, it's funny. There's tons of surveys that show that leaders are disconnected to what the employees really feel about what's happening at the company. So I would say knowing and finding out the truth of what the employees' perceptions are, and then acting on the truth of that, and not being afraid to face the truth.
Along the same lines, leadership development fails when?
I think lack of clarity. You know, everything kind of comes back in an HR issue: communication, clarity. You know, your direct supervisor being willing to sit down with you on a regular basis and have hard conversations in a kind way, right? So it comes back to training and development of your line supervisors. It comes back to training and development of senior leaders, understanding how to engage with people. And let me tell you, the unemployment rate today, the numbers came out, it dipped down 0.1% today. I mean, the job market's going to continue to evolve faster than we've ever seen. And so companies have got to go ahead and get on these issues. These are great questions, by the way, that you asked.
Herb, last question. One HR trend leaders should prepare for now is what?
Listen, I think HR leaders, I think AI. Listen, I went to a conference in Toronto and I watched an AI, like a person on AI. It was an AI generated person do a interview that included asking cross-reference questions and redirect questions based on answers that were given, and it was amazing watching that. And so I think integrating AI first into resolving tasks, but then figuring out how to utilize AI in your in becoming just better in doing your job as HR professional. So think about how much HR right now is stuck doing administrative stuff. Get rid of all that administrative stuff so you can spend 90% of your time on employee development, training,
Communication.
employee relations, communication. Exactly. Right. So that's it.
Right.
AI.
I don't think that I don't remember the last time, Herb, that we had a show that I did not mention AI and talk about AI with someone. That's good stuff as always.
Yeah, man.
Folks, that is Herb Dew with HTI, and that was Finish the Sentence. That was a lot of fun. We'll see you next time on another episode of Let's Talk HR.